What's going on, YouTube? Happy Saturday. So I had my radio deal last night. One of my first times kind of doing the radio, so the guy that's mentoring me in it actually told me some things I need to work on, and it still went well. But you know, there's definitely, when you do things for the first time, you know, there's always some things that you gotta tighten up. So I have those ideas now, and I'm ready to execute more. So now I got a more of a permanent position on Wednesdays at 7 o'clock. I still put that same link up, but Wednesdays at 7 o'clock, I welcome you guys to come. It's a cool show. I mean, it's like there's a lot of people that like the preppers that I thought I would disagree with a lot on there, but I'm starting to see that we have some common ground. So, but this is what the video is about. I'm gonna have to apologize because I was talking to the that radio show host, right? And he was telling me, like, man, you're doing some things right now that a lot of people are not doing. And to you, it may seem normal, but to a lot of other people, it's not normal. So, I'll give you an example of that. Okay, when he was saying that, hey, you just came up with the idea and say, hey, I just want to move to China. Not move to China, I'm sorry. I just want to go to China and do some business. He said the average person wouldn't do that. But then I started looking back for a second and I was like, I wasn't always that way. Give you an example. I was just talking to my wife this morning about when we moved to Vegas. Now, the first part may seem a little bold, but you'll see where I'm going with this. We were in Vegas for the first time, right? Never had been there before. I was amazed. And we were just going around. I was looking at everything like, wow, Vegas, Vegas, Vegas. So then I came up with I popped the question to my wife and said, hey, we're rolling down the strip. What will it be like to live in Vegas? And she kind of looked at me like, huh? And I said, I want to move to Vegas. So that thought happened, and then we went home and went back to, at that time we were living in Washington State, the Olympia area, which is close to Seattle. So we go back home and we start talking about it. Well, you know how we as people sometimes we say we want to do something and then we don't necessarily follow up on it or whatever. So I just started bringing back up Vegas. I want to go to Vegas. I want to go to Vegas. I want to go to Vegas. And lo and behold, maybe I would say months later, I don't know how many months, I would probably guess maybe 5-6 months later, the U-Haul was getting packed up. We're packing all the clothes up, and guess where we were on our way to? Vegas. No job. At that time, I didn't know anything about business. I didn't know what business was or anything. I was just like everybody else, working a job. So we left. So it didn't hit me until we actually until we actually made it to Vegas, took all the stuff out of the U-Haul and put the things in the apartment. Because I had an apartment. At least I had an apartment waiting on me there. Then now, we got to make some income. My wife started putting in applications for jobs. You know, later on, I started putting applications for jobs. And then I was putting my thing in for UNLV to go to school there. And it was a scary situation. But somehow we made it. A lot of people around us was like, you guys are crazy. How are you guys going to move to a place where you don't know nobody, right? You don't know if you're going to have a job, or you could actually end up becoming homeless. I don't know what inside me made me do that move. But once I conquered that move, I asked my wife another question today. I said, we can move any place right now in the United States of America and survive. And she agreed. There's no place right now we can't move right now and survive. And won't even lose a step. Won't even have a hiccup. Still thrive. But now that I think about it, that wouldn't have happened unless I would have conquered the Las Vegas move. By me taking it to the next level and getting over that hump, right? It wouldn't have happened. You see, that's the power in taking chance. I did it by I wouldn't say a mistake. I did it by chance that it happened, but it taught me something when I conquered that. It taught me that I can live anywhere. I can make things happen. Now, at that time, I was putting my hands in other people's hands as far as like, because in Las Vegas, there was a lot more competition. You know, you apply for a job, you may have 20 to 30 people applying for the same job. But now that I've made myself and because I became an entrepreneur in Vegas too. But now that I've gotten to the point where, hey, you gotten over the hump. You took the fear away of not saying that you can't live anywhere. You can live anywhere you want to go, but you have to be able to take that step. So I learned. Now, being that I have learned and made it to that level, now I'm able to move anywhere in the United States and be okay. But just think, if a lot of other people learn this quality, we wouldn't have people crying about unemployment. You don't see me crying about unemployment. And I've been on my own for many years now, making my own money. So, I learned a skill. I didn't pay attention to the skill I learned, and that's why I'm able to talk the way I do sometimes about, hey, forget about the government, forget about these things, you can do it, you can do it. So, that's a skill that we as people need to learn. You have to be able to take that next step and say, hey, I can make it without my job. I can make it without the government. That's it. You know, I just wanted to share that story because sometimes I think it's good to know that you connect with the people that you're talking with. I don't say I'm some prodigy child or whatever. No, I'm scared. I've been going through things just like everybody else. We're all in the same boat. You know, I just went a little step further. That's why I say this book again, just what I said, will help you through that process. I'm going to say it. This is my second day bringing this book up. Who Moved My Cheese? A very easy read, will help you. So, that's all I have to say right now. Oh, also last thing, I have I did my radio show last night. Like I said, it was okay. But now, I got me a permanent spot on Wednesdays. So Wednesdays at 7 o'clock, 7 p.m., I'm going to be on this guy co-hosting, and we're going to talk about a wide variety of topics. So hope to see you there. So, that's all I have to say for now, and until next time, signing off.